जी, back again. I have said so many words, and then I remember that the mic is off. So let's talk about once again about the categories of the ratios. The first category of the ratio which we are going to study is the liquidity ratio. And there are two measures available to analyze the liquidity of the firm. One is the current ratio, and the second is the asset test ratio. Asset test ratio is the more refinement of the current ratio, and for the current ratio, it means that it is going to measure the ability of a firm to pay its obligation through its current assets. So the way we are calculating the current ratio is the current assets which are available in the balance sheet divided by the current liabilities of that very firm for the same year, and we are going to get some value which is again a ratio, as we are going to divide the current assets from its current liabilities. If you can see back in the balance sheet, there is the current asset value which is given 1.23223 million dollars, and the current liabilities it is given $620,000. So when we are going to divide these figures, we get 1.97 as a figure of current ratio. It means that the company has the ability to pay its current liabilities through its current assets, which is equals to 1.97 times. Almost two times is the current assets of the current liabilities. So higher the value of the current ratio, it means the good financial health of the company, and it has the ability to pay its all current obligations through its current assets adequately. यहां तक कोई बात समझ नहीं आई?
जी सर आ गई।
क्लियर हो गया यहाँ तक कि करंट रेशियो क्या होती है?
जी सर आ गई समझ।
चलें, that's very good. Let's talk about the asset test ratio. It is also called the quick ratio. Now we are going to subtract the inventory from the current assets, as inventory is going to be another portion which is not so current, so liquid. So we are going to find the ratio because you are not going to sell the inventory first and then you are going to pay off the current liabilities. That's why this current ratio, quick ratio is going to subtract the inventory from your current assets. So you are having the current assets in the previous figure, which we were taken as 1.223 thousand dollars, and now we are going to subtract the inventory figure, which is $289,000, and it will result into $934,000, and it is going to be divided the same figure which was about the current liabilities, and this was $620,000, and now we are getting the result as 1.51 quick ratio. So again, this quick ratio is more than one. It means it is a good ratio. The company has enough and adequate resources, current resources to pay off its current liabilities. So the quick ratio, the same formula, the same thumb formula is there, that if it is on higher side, it means the company has better value. The company has better capability to pay off its current liabilities through its current assets. यहाँ तक कोई बात समझ ना आई हो?
आ गया सर।
That's very good. Now move towards the second category of the activity ratio. We are going to measure this activity ratio because this is going to tell us the operational performance of the company. It is going to measure the speed with which various accounts are converted into sales or cash. It is again the inflow and outflow related figures. So the first ratio in this activity ratio which we are going to take is the inventory turnover. It is the measure of activity or liquidity of a firm's inventory, that how fast your inventory is going to be converted into cash. So inventory turnover is equals to cost of goods sold divided by the inventory. How fast you are going to convert your cost of goods sold into inventory. Applying this relationship to the Bartlett Company in 2012 yield around $2.088 million divided by $289,000. It is 7.2. The resulting turnover is meaningful only when it is compared with the other companies, other firms in the same industry. Again, as we have already said, that we are going to have a cross-sectional analysis, which is about the average of the industry and its comparison with your own performance, your own firm performance. If the firm performance is better than the average industry performance, then you are satisfied. If it is not, then you have to work hard to reach at least the average industry average ratio, because your performance is not up to the mark. So you have to benchmark your performance to at least industry's average. Applying this relationship, we have already applied this relationship and we have calculated it is around 7.2. An inventory turnover of 20 would not be unusual for grocery stores whose goods are highly perishable and must be sold quickly, whereas an aircraft manufacturer might turn its inventory only 4 times a year. It means that industry to industry, the average of inventory turnover is different. For aircraft industry, your inventory is large and you are not going to sell this inventory quite often. That's why your inventory turnover may be on the lower side, like 4 times a year. But for grocery stores, as the things are so much perishable, the things are going to perish very fast. Your inventory turnover must be very high. Like we have discussed, it is going to be 20 or 20 or more for the industry as average inventory turnover. Then we are going towards the average collection period. This is again very important figure, very important ratio for a firm, that how their account receivables are going to be converted into cash. So the sales which are on the credits on credit, it should be converted fast into the cash. That's why that will turn your liquidity on the higher side. So the average collection period or the average age of the account receivable is useful in evaluating credit and collection policies. It is arrived at by dividing the average daily sales into the account receivable balance. So the calculation formula is like account receivables are going to be divided by the average sales per day. So the total sales for the year, we are going to divide it with 365. On the denominator, you can see in second line of the equation, and on the numerator we have accounts receivable. Now putting the figures again into the formula, we can see $503,000 is the accounts receivable. Again, it is annual accounts receivable available in the balance sheet, and now we are going to divide it with the resulting figure of $3.074 million divided by 365, which results into the average daily sales or sales per day. And now we are going to put it in the denominator, and now we are getting it as 59.7 days. It means your average collection period is around 59.7 days. It again it shows that if you sell something on credit today, you will receive cash on average basis against this particular credit sales in 59.7 days, which is around 60 days. So 60 दिन आपका एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड आ रहा है. ठीक हो गया?
जी सर.
सर ये एनुअल सेल्स को 360 पे डिवाइड करना है तो फिर पर डे का निकलेगा?
पर डे की एवरेज सेल आ जाएगी ना आपके पास.
जी सर, वो एनुअल सेल्स को डिवाइड करेंगे
जी, एनुअल सेल्स को डिवाइड करेंगे आप 365 से, तो आपकी पर डे एवरेज सेल आ जाएगी. और इस फिगर को आप अगेन डिनोमिनेटर में रखेंगे और न्यूमिनेटर में आपके पास आएगा अकाउंट रिसीवेबल. अकाउंट रिसीवेबल की जितनी भी फिगर है उसको जब आप इससे डिवाइड करेंगे तो आपको पता लग जाएगा,
एवरेज कलेक्शन पीरियड आ जाएगा.
जी. तो आज के लिए मेरा ख्याल है यहाँ तक रखते हैं. इसके रिलेटेड जितने भी क्वेश्चंस हैं वो आप लोग एक्सरसाइज में से कर लेंगे, और अगर कोई मसला हुआ तो आप मेरे से पूछ लेंगे. ठीक हो गया?
ओके सर.